Hey guys, in this video we're going to be taking a look at the EXUAV Y120S frame. This is a Y4 quadcopter setup, so it's got stacked motors in the back, and it's kind of weird looking, but I just wanted to show you the pieces first before I put this together. All of the carbon pieces are 3mm thick, so it should be fairly durable because it's only going to be swinging 3-inch propellers, and the hole mount pattern is going to be for 13 size motors. Carbon seems to be fairly well cut, not too much burring, looks pretty clean, although it is sharp on the edges, so be aware of that. The edges are not chamfered, but quality looks pretty good. With the stacked motors on the back, they have countersunk screws on the back motors here, so you can see those are countersunk, and I think they do provide you the screws for those, so be sure to use those and be careful of the length of the screw so you don't damage your motor. But I think that's yeah, so basically the motors sit on this side, the motor screws on this side, and I think these two plates here go together like this, something like that. So the screws are going to be buried inside here, so you're not going to see them, and then there's going to be a screw back here. It's going to hold these two plates together, and then this goes onto this becomes the top plate. And then you got these two camera side plates. These are also 3mm thick, and that will protect the camera. And this particular frame is actually built for the, I think, the version 1 RunCam Split. So it's going to be kind of weird. It has the hole mounting patterns for 30 by 30. But I think that's for the standoffs, and then the flight stack is going to be 20 by 20. But then there's going to be a section. I believe that it's 30 by 30 here because the in the middle of the standoffs, the RunCam Split board is going to actually sit. So I'll put this together and I'll explain this a little bit more after I get back. Okay, so here it is fully assembled, and it came together very quickly. It was actually a pretty simple build without even any instructions. As you can see here, as you take a look at the way the arms are cut, they are cut correctly. So it's very stiff, not going to be bending any places along the angled arms here in the front. Those are also cut correctly as well, and this is very stiff here, doesn't bend at all. All of the cuts are very precise, like for example the side plates going into the holes here. You can see there's very little tolerance there, and it doesn't wiggle at all. It fits in very precisely. You have to give a little bit of force to get it in, but it does slide in once you sort of get it into the edges. And all of the joints were exactly alike. They all just locked into place and nothing moved. So this is definitely a very precisely cut. Whatever the machine they're using is really good, and I think I definitely like that. Now you can see here where the standoff here in the bottom goes into this screw on top. There's this little space here, and you can see that it just slides. It doesn't screw in anything, and you're supposed to put the RunCam Split board in between this spacer and then this long standoff here. So just keep that in mind, that when you assemble it, that's where that RunCam Split board goes to, and that's a 30 by 30 board. And then all of the your electronics are going to go into the 20 by 20 stack. That's going to go here, and they provide these screws, and all these are countersunk screws. So this is an M2 screw, and that's going to be for your 20 by 20 stack, like that. Stick that in there. So obviously a lot of 20 by 20 stacks are going to fit with an M2 screw, no problem. So just that shouldn't be an issue. Now regarding the rest of the hardware that's included, they are including these gold M2 screws. This is for mounting the motors on the front, I believe, and they should fit in right here. You can see that matches the rest of the gold screws over here. Very nice, and you can see you get about 2mm of screwed thread for your motor. And then they also provide these countersunk M2 screws that go into the back motors here, and you're not going to be seeing those screws because they're going to be buried inside the arm. That's why they're not gold colored, and they obviously need to be countersunk so you can get these two arms together. And then you have this one screw in the back with a lock nut that holds the arms in the back together as well. You get a few other things here. You get a battery plate protector. This goes on the bottom of the battery. You get a battery strap. This just protects you on landings on like concrete or whatever if you want to use this. You do get an XT30 connector as well with the battery lead already soldered on. That's kind of nice. You get some zip ties, and then you get a some Velcro for your battery. And the battery strap will go on the bottom here, but I like the fact that it's nice and flat here. All of these screws are countersunk so that you can stick probably some silicone pad or some kind of grippy pad here for your battery and strap it onto the bottom, and it's not going to slide around, so that's kind of nice. Okay, so this is the frame without any electronics, and it's coming in at about 48 grams. So it's pretty decent weight for, I think, a 3mm frame. I think similar 3-inch 3mm frames are going to be around this weight. So it's probably not too light and not too heavy. It's kind of like average for this particular size. And obviously 3mm is, if you want to put some bigger motors on here, like say a 1407, I think that you want to go with a 3mm arm. I'm not sure what I'm going to be putting on this. Probably a 1306. I might do a 1407 motor, but for this frame, those motors would work pretty well for a 3-inch prop. Okay, so that's going to do it for this quick review of the EXUAV Y120S Y4 frame. I'm probably going to transfer my RunCam Split from the Ascent 3-inch that I built a while back that I'm not really flying too much. I don't have too many RunCam Splits lying around, so I'm going to have to scavenge it from there. And since I was using a 30x30 stack, I'm going to have to find a 20x20 stack for this to do a build. Probably need a 20 amp at least, and I may or may not go to a 1407, I'm not sure. But yeah, leave me some comments below what you think of the frame, what kind of parts you'd like to see in this. Obviously, the RunCam Split's going in. This is what this frame is made for. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.